Welcome to today's social media marketing agency lesson. I've got my business partner, Alex Mayer, and I want to talk about something interesting that he is very qualified, one of the only people I know qualified to talk on this subject. So how can you get larger businesses to pay you $1,000 to $10,000 a month or even more to help them with their social media, internet, and email marketing? And so Alex's first business he built does over $100 million in revenue. And I asked him, did you ever hire consultants? Because you had how many, 500-600 employees?
Right.
But you still hired outside consultants in marketing.
Yes.
So the main focus of this course, especially at the beginning, is for you to get small local businesses in, that'll be your main core of clientele. But it is good for you to know, and depending on the context you already have, you might be able to just get a few big companies. And by big, it could be, let's say, companies doing over $10 million a year in revenue or $50 million of revenue. And there's quite a few of those. And I can tell you, would you agree with this?
Yeah.
A lot of large companies aren't good at social media,
That's right.
internet, and email marketing.
Right. It's actually really hard because schools don't train for them. So normal hiring process, recruiting process in big companies, think about it. The HR person has to come up with a job description for this and go, but schools are not creating these people.
So if you say if a big company, his company Zeus, which is one of the largest dating sites in the world, if you said you need a social media expert, it's not like Harvard is producing social media experts.
Right, exactly. And then, think about it. The HR person doesn't exactly, like the CEO kind of knows what they want, but then you have to tell the HR person has to write a job description. There are no templates for it.
Yes.
So then the HR person is going through the resumes. It's hard to recruit.
But this is good news for you, because what this means is you, as a small entrepreneur agency owner, have the opportunity to walk in the door, and we're going to talk about how to present to them and some common things that they need. This is a hole in the market that you can fill. And these bigger companies have more money. It doesn't mean that just because they're big, they're going to spend a lot. But a company doing over $100 million a year, if you presented and had a lot of value, could potentially pay you more than $10,000 a month, or at least $10,000 a month. You only need a few clients paying you 10 grand a month, and you're making a nice income as a solo or small business entrepreneur. So let's first talk about, for you, what's the number one problem? So you hired consultants, and you had a lot of consultants come to you and say, we'll help you.
Yeah.
What's the number one thing they did wrong?
Okay. So I want to say, we did this over many years. Marketing agencies came and pitched to us quite a few times. The number one thing that is actually was surprising is, a lot of these marketing agencies, they come to you and they have heard my problem. They know I have told them what I want to get done, and they come back with their own version that has nothing to do with the actual need.
They try to pitch you to hire them to solve a problem that you don't think you have.
Basically, this is a tip. Think about it. Why would I put out the RFP, request for proposal, for those of you who don't know, for a marketing agency from outside? Because I have a specific need that I can't satisfy.
That your own internal marketing people don't know.
Cannot do.
So what you have to do, the takeaway from this is two things. One, you have to know, you have to understand you're going to come in very specific, because bigger companies already have, marketing done in general.
Yep.
And number two, solve a problem that they tell you that they have. Don't just say, I'll do your Instagram, and they don't care about their Instagram.
Yeah.
With smaller businesses, you can get away with that, even though it's still better even with smaller businesses. But these large companies, if you have a small doctor's office or something, he doesn't have a marketing department. So you can pretty much say, here's all the things I'm going to do for you. Exactly. We're talking today's lesson is bigger companies doing 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 million, $100 million a year in revenue. They got some people. So you have to fill a little need. So what would be an example of a small niche that a larger company would hire somebody?
Yeah. So this is the best way to think about it. So if you go after to a big company, just like Tai said, there's a marketing team of, in my case, there were like 30 people in marketing, right? Mm-hmm. So why would I put out the proposal, request for proposal to get external agencies is either I want to get a project done and I want it quick, and hiring people to get the project is, is going to take a long time. So it's either speed. Or the second thing is hiring for that particular skill set is very difficult. Like if it's like one thing that you want to, I want them to do, and even
like Snapchat. If you know how to do Snapchat,
exactly,
there's nobody out there that knows how to do Snapchat.
That would be actually a perfect example of something that a big company would hire for. Because think about it, a big company can have a marketing team of 30 people. 2 people are doing social media or community management, depending on what they call it, like 1 or 2 people. And both of them, none of them may not know how to use Snapchat or to leverage Snapchat. As one example,
of them knowing how to do smart chat is 1 in a million.
Yeah. So you're the CEO and you hear from everybody else that Snapchat is where it is. As an example, what do? The options are, you go hire a Snapchat expert, which is basically a full-time, it goes to your balance sheet. You have to have the expenses of the person forever.
Yes.
And you don't even know if it's a good idea. So one of the reasons that people try hiring from outside is that it's commitment.
Yeah, they don't want a full-time Snapchat. They just want someone to come in for 3 months, set up, train you would come in.
Right.
For example, on Snapchat, you come in, you would show them the overall theme, how many posts they're going to do per day, what you're going to talk about, then that you'd start training their staff. So it's just a 3-month commitment. You might be able to charge 50 grand for that or 20 grand for it. You're in and out 3 months. It doesn't take you that long enough to be there every day. And I'll tell you, someone out there should go to like Taco Bell. They have a horrible Snapchat. MTV. Not to make fun of companies, but I'm telling you guys.
No, I saw Forbes' Snapchat the other day. Just
bad?
Yeah.
I mean, Taco Bell, you talk about a company with so much money.
Right.
Their Snapchat is like, no one's, in fact, I found out, I won't say which company, but one of the companies we just mentioned, I found out how many views they get. I get like way more than them, and they're a $1 billion company. I'm like, what's wrong with you? So I'm not saying you have to do Snapchat consulting. You're going to learn a lot of things in this 4-month certification, but that's a great example. For example, let's say I lost everything, had to start over.
Right.
I would go to Taco Bell, McDonald's, maybe not, I don't love fast food companies, but go to MTV, go to, what did you just say? Oh, Forbes. Be like, look, I'm a badass at Snapchat. I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to set it up. And I'd be like, give me $1 million, I would say. But as you're maybe don't have quite as much experience in Snapchat, you could definitely, just what you're going to learn in this course, improve people's Snapchat. What you've learned about a brand story and all that stuff. So the other thing is, you were just talking about when they come to you, it's important to answer and say you're going to do the problem that they're saying they have.
Right. It's actually, it's really interesting. It's, some of you guys might have seen this with hiring, like for a job, right? So there's a job requirement, and then if you just send your resume the way it is, most of the time there's not a fit, because you got to read the language of the job description of the post to know what they need, so that you can modify, position yourself.
Change your resume.
Yeah, exactly. Change your resume. It's a very obvious thing that people know. But then I have, even large marketing agencies coming in, and they just had a conversation with me yesterday. All they had to do was to repeat what I told them back to me so that I understand that they understood what I wanted, and they failed that basic
So here's a
thing.
ninja trick for you. The second ninja trick here. Mirroring. Can you talk about that?
Yeah. So it's just, basically think about it this way. If I'm hiring for somebody to do something for me, right?
Let's say Snapchat. Let's
say Snapchat. So I say, I need somebody to come and give me a strategy on how to grow our Snapchat or produce concept for Snapchat. The first thing is to take my words and just say it back to me either the same day or the next day, so that I know that you understood what I want.
We created a proposal how I'm going to help you build strategy for Snapchat. That simple thing, almost nobody knows how to do.
It's actually incredible. Like, they would come in and they would put out, this whole presentation, and it does not address the need for which I went out and tried to hire. It's just, it's incredible. So that's number one.
Yeah.
The second thing is, this is a little bit, so the first one is I mean, so obvious that you should get this right. So,
But common sense is not common.
Right. That's right. That's right. That's so right. The second thing is this requires a little bit of reading in between lines. Why is the company looking for this position, or what's the need? Is it speed? Is it something that they don't have? They might have the in-house expertise, but they don't have enough people.
Yeah.
So they need like additional people, or they don't have it at all, or they have actually no clue even like how to approach it. So they want to hire a bunch of people, see what works. So they're in either exploration, either they don't want they don't exactly know what they want, so they're exploring, or they know what they want and they don't have the staff, or they know what they want, they have the staff, but they're busy with other stuff.
Yeah, so they need
additional
extra help.
So understanding that one thing, like why is it that they put out this request for proposal, I think is like, would go a long way.
Yeah, so you mirror.
Yeah.
So you say back to them the problem they have, how you're going to help them.
If it's a speed,
but you say it in the way,
right,
knowing why. So for example, let's just do a role play.
Right.
I want you to hire me. I'm the person in this program. You own the big company.
Right.
You said to me, Tai, I need you to do Snapchat, and I've got some marketing people
I have
now.
a product launch. So this is an example, right?
Yep.
I have a product launch coming up in a month.
Yep.
I have my whole marketing and social media strategy figured out, but no one in my staff knows how to Snapchat, right? Yes. So I gave you two pieces of information. I have a product launch in a month.
So time. Yeah.
And then the need is Snapchat. Yes. So how would you respond to that?
So I come back to you the next day, be like, well, here's the proposal. Look, I can come into your company. Mm-hmm. I'm going to make you a badass Snapchat. Mm-hmm. This is what I'm going to do. Mm-hmm. I'm an expert on it, and I think I can do it in under 15 days.
Yes. That is exactly what I want to hear. Meaning you understand that I need this quickly, and I have a very specific need. You can deliver my need within my timeline in this case, because timeline was very important. And it's just, it's very simple, but a lot of people can't do it. Like if he came to me and said, oh, I'm going to lay out this whole, 2-year plan for you.
Here's a 2-year plan on how by month 6 your Snapchat, you're like automatic. So I understood Snapchat, but I understand the time.
Right.
So listen, this is called active listening, and I can't tell you how many people work for me, and one of the first things I have to train them is do not assume you know what I'm going to say.
Right.
Sometimes people try to finish my sentences. I'm like, not with me. Don't do that. Listen. I had that this morning. I was talking to somebody. What did I say? It was so funny. Try to remember it, but there was one word missing that they thought I was saying, and it meant a completely different thing. Listen closely. Let me ask you this in closing on this. This is an important lesson, a lot here, in even a short amount of time. How do they, let's say you were starting from scratch and you have expertise, how would you approach, let's say you identified 10 large companies, how do you find out when they need help? Would you cold call and show up at HR, send them an email, call them, get a friend of a friend? This is the harder part.
Yeah, so that's lead generation, right? So there are two approaches, just off the top of my head. One is a lot of companies put RFPs, or requests for proposals, out there, and there are websites, different, they're for marketing, so
there's websites where companies are posting. Do you remember any of the names?
Not off the top of my head.
But just Google it. RFP, request for proposal, marketing proposal.
So that's a very, especially the bigger the company is, some government agencies, for example, they have requirements to put out an RFP.
Yes.
They just can't go and hire. They have to put a proposal out. Bigger companies are like that too. When you get smaller and smaller, then they may do it without an RFP. But I can tell you that even if a company knows that they need something and they have 1 or 2 candidates, they still put out an RFP just to get more leads, basically. Okay. So now the second one is to actually, meaning actively going and generate leads, basically. And the best way to do it, maybe there are other ways, but one way to think about it is that you go to VP of marketing or VP of
sales.
VP sales, less so marketing, depends on different companies. The titles are different. VP marketing, VP of community management is another one.
Yep.
So you go to these people and you can actually approach a lot of these guys. They don't get that much inbound. So on LinkedIn, So find them on LinkedIn and just inbound message them. The LinkedIn has a name for it.
LinkedIn, you can inbox, you can pay a little bit, and it guarantees it gets that they see it.
So you approach them, and it's not like a VP marketing at a $100 million a year company isn't really that bombarded with messages.
Yes, they're not getting 100.
Yeah, they would probably see your message. And here's another thing that I've seen. I get inbound messages from contractors and vendors all the time. In your message, so don't just send a message and say, "Hey, how are you?" Which, believe it or not, I get. They expect me to reply to them.
Oh, I get that all the time on Snap. People will Snapchat me, "Hey, I have a problem. I have a question." And I'm going, "Why didn't you put the question in?" They want me to write back and say, "What's your question?" I get that hundreds a day.
Yeah, it's incredible. I'm like, listen, when you're trying to cold call somebody, right? Respect that person's time. So create a short description of what you do and what potential benefits you can provide in the body of the first message.
And make it real catchy. Say something like, "Hey, I'm a badass with Snapchat."
Right, exactly.
I was looking at your company's Snapchat. I've got a few ideas I could give you for free.
Right, that is active lead generation. So
and you could even skiv one of them. So if I was gonna want a Taco Bell as a client, I'd go to LinkedIn or Taco Bell's website, find the email address of the VP of Community Management or Marketing, send them an email. You might have to send it a few times before they saw it.
Right.
Send it once every 2 weeks or something. So over a month or two, you've hit them 3 times. And it would say something like, "Hey," maybe the subject line is Taco Bell Snapchat, a few ideas. And then it says, "Hey, I'm Tai Lopez. I'm a master of Snapchat, and I was looking, and I can promise you can quadruple your views if you change a few things.
Yeah.
I'd love to talk to you. Here's one of the problems," and this is an actual one I would write them. "You don't ever snap the food that much." They have weird snap, and also I would say you don't do the behind the scenes.
Right.
So sometimes they will show the food like a taco, but that's not a good Snapchat. It's like everybody knows a taco. I know what a taco, but show back how the cool process of making a taco. I'd never seen that. And then I would say, "I got 10 other ideas. Could we talk on the phone for 10 minutes? That email will probably get in.
Yeah.
One of you can go after Taco Bell.
Right. Now tomorrow Taco Bell is gonna get
a badass. Hey, I'm happy for it.
Yeah. So I tell you one simple trick, especially if you're cold calling someone, is that in your email, put yourself in the other person's shoes.
As a busy person.
As a busy person. And think, why in the world should they get back to you? Put yourself, imagine you're that person and you're getting this email. So give them that reason. So don't think about your needs. Think about their needs.
Yes.
So what the benefit to them versus what you can. It's a shift in mentality.
I call that, and one of the things you'll learn, one of the reasons that I've been able to be decent at marketing is because that skill you said, I am good at. I'm not good at everything, but that skill of being able to put myself in other people's shoes and know, I'd buy from that or not buy from that, that I know how to do that. And so it's empathy. It's marketing empathy.
Yeah.
Like I said, that email, I just told you those exact words for Taco Bell, they will reply to that. I promise. If any email, I can't imagine an email that would be better. You could just rewind this video and take that exact one and send it to 10 different big corporations. They're bad. And they got money, boy. You get Taco Bell, I'd come in, I guarantee, I wouldn't do Taco Bell because I don't love helping fast food because it's junk food, but I would charge them at least $1 million.
Yeah.
And they might say no, and I'd be like, well, then you're going to have a sucky Snapchat.
So here's the interesting part, Snapchat specifically. So think about the CEO. I don't know the CEO of Taco Bell specifically, but CEO of a lot of these companies, they have kids, and their kids are on Snapchat.
Yes.
Yeah, and they hear about it, but they just don't use it themselves.
Dude, they could. Another one, I'll tell you, another one I would have done, political races. I have a cool guy that's in the program right now, just signed a politician. They're paying him, I forget how much money a month. I would, if I really wanted Hillary, I wasn't pro-Hillary or pro-Trump really, but I could have just gone to Hillary and said, 10 million bucks, I'll fix, they have horrible Snapchats, horrible, every vote matters when you're running for president. You could charge political parties. It doesn't have to be a presidential campaign. It could be a local campaign. It could be a senator, you know. There's large restaurants. There's just large corporations that do consumer products, Procter & Gamble type stuff. There's everything, pharmaceutical companies, hospitals, all these.
Right.
So, all right, here's the homework to complete this lesson. Name 3 companies, large companies, that you could reach out to that are interesting to you, that you think you could help or potentially help. All right, answer that, and that, remember, you got to complete these. Keep going through this program. Man, the results we're getting back, I just flew out. Jaden, he made 32 grand in the first 2 months in the program. He's making 15, 16,000. He brought one doctor's office 7 new clients, made the doctor like 40, 50 grand, and the doctor paid him 20 grand for that. A win-win situation. Win-win-win, because the customer found out about a good doctor. So keep going through the videos. We're going to record one more right now. So I will answer that, and I'll see you on the next lesson.